Yeah, Delta Green. Yeah, the only thing I'm going over is stuff that's freely available. So, you're not going to get anything from watching this video that you can't get for free. So, hey, have fun with that. Anyways, um, I am going to go over some of the basics of the Delta Green game system while I make some characters for it. And you know what? It looks like a cool idea. It's a modern take on the whole like spooky, spooky Call of Cthulhu like system. Because this one's kind of sort of like equal parts Call of Cthulhu and X Files. It's very modern in terms of the like setting. It's like using modern day technology to deal with the spooky things that you don't understand. Which is kind of like the whole X Files vibe thing. Also, in this one, fishmen aren't necessarily the bad guys. You might have bad guys who are, extraterrestrials, which realistically, Call of Cthulhu actually has a lot of extraterrestrials as bad guys too. It's just that Call of Cthulhu, for aesthetic reasons, doesn't bother with the flying saucers. It's mostly an aesthetic thing. Anyway, though, so let's move on. Here we have a character sheet. Need to fill in the name, profession, rank if applicable, nationality, employee, your gender, age, and date of birth, education, blah, blah, blah. It kind of sort of assumes everyone's a human, which fits with the way Call of Cthulhu does it, and also with, you know, the whole like X Files thing. It's like if you're not human, why are you on Earth? So, hmm. Oh, I need my boggle dice. In theory, you could like house rule having non-human entities, but well, that's more of a house rule. So let's go and take a look at this because I've actually never done this before. Here we have the introduction stuff. Here we have the name of the website where you can go to download this. Oh yeah. Also, it's like this actually has some like pre-made characters in it, which I'm not going to copy. Yep, yep, yep. How to be a player. What is an agent? There's actually only a few pages about all that stuff. It's not actually all that long. Yeah, it says do not copy and do not circulate, but that's like in universe stuff where it's like, hey, classified information, top secret Orcon. Hmm, magic. Hmm. Well, that was anyway. Handler is basically this game's version of a DM. It's like the handler is kind of sort of an in-universe NPC, but it's not a player. Doesn't really directly affect things. It's kind of like how the Men in Black characters will like phone their base and talk to Zed or something like that. Yeah, names. Because I'm using Boggle Dice, I might end up with silly names, but whatever. Dum dum dum. Now, this doesn't actually like list examples of what they consider to be appropriate agencies, but they're probably expecting you to use whatever you personally feel like is good option anyways. Mhm, mhm. Bonds is an interesting one because it's a thing that applies to other characters, not necessarily players. And I'm genuinely not sure exactly how much effect it has on actual gameplay. The parts I saw in the rulebook seem to indicate that it kind of sort of gives you a stat bonus sometimes, but that didn't really seem to be particularly um, involved, shall we say. Motivations, mental disorders. Okay, this is a game with a sanity system, and mental disorders are kind of like scars you get from losing sanity. So, and again, it does the whole like humant and SIGINT thing because it's taking a very modern approach to this. So it uses modern terminology that you would actually see talked about in ufology circles and craft. I mean, it depends on which craft you're talking about. Something that takes years to practice or what have you. Yeah, things man was not meant to know. Obviously, a thing you have in Call of Cthulhu, but it applies a lot to the like alien stuff that you see in the more recent works because of the fact that the alien stuff will be like this is things that are like mm, draining your sanity because you see things. You have a blank character sheet in case you don't have one and need to like photocopy it or something. Okay, so anyway, let me back up the index. It's like which page is the index to say again? Like okay, so the sample characters start at page 19. Oh, okay, so creating an agent is page 16. Okay, alrighty then. Well, oh, that's the PDF says it's page 15, but the PDF page numbering includes the cover sheet, which does not include this, and thus the numbering in the index is all off by one. Okay, then. Now, I'm actually not entirely sure what it's talking about when it says computer scientist or engineer. Hmm. Oh, you don't roll dice. Um you get one of these pre-generated matrices of dice and just shove that into your stats. Okay. The bottom one is highly specialized. Um Second one is only semi-specialized, and the top one is pretty generalized. Some of the numbers are higher, but not that much. Interesting. That's You know what? I've heard of games doing this in the past, but I've never seen one actually had as the primary method. I don't hate it. I really don't. I am, however, going to math things. So, for root one, the average is 12. So for group two, let's see here. It's like 5 points up here and 5 points down here. Okay. Hmm. Yeah, that probably adds up the same way. Let's see here. This one's here specifically is up by 5. This one is down by 4. So that gives a plus 1 here. Put the 1 here, that makes a 14. You have two 14s, both of which are 12 plus 2. Cut off the 2, put on the 10 and the 10. Boom. Yeah. So all these have the exact same stat total. Derived attributes are things where you have your base stat and then you have what the stat gives you. Hmm. Yeah. All right. So going to have to do the math later. Now I decided to do 4. I might actually change that to 6 because of the fact that there's um a lot of different things you can do. Hmm. Okay, so yeah, you know what? I'm going to open the thing 2 more times. Anyway, so let's get in with it. No. Um, it doesn't actually give you a list of professions. It just gives a suggestion of what professions are. Oh wait, no, no, no. These are a list of professions. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight, nine. Was it only? Uh. Oh yeah. I guess I counted one of them twice. Okay, so there are actually only 8 examples of professions. Huh. Okay. Hmm. And each of them has a different set of derived stats that you get because you're that profession. Okay. Hmm. Yeah, I kind of like uh, vaguely skipped over the whole thing, and that's it. This is the end of all of the stuff for creating a character. Right here. And here we have the sample characters. One's a computer scientist, FBI forensic pathologist, FBI agent, special operator, anthropology professor, and astrophysicist. Wait, it doesn't have astrophysicist as one of the options. Oh, okay. I guess they're using astrophysicist as like a subset of scientist, I guess, which kind of fits with the concept, I guess. I was getting the vibe that it was like more of like kind of sort of like what you feel like rather than just like needing to make it super specific. Okay then. So, uh, yeah, because like one of the things with Call of Cthulhu is that characters will get, injured and whatever stuff. So let's go. Name. Yeah, see, the thing I do with the boggle dice is I don't necessarily try to use all of them. I use them to give me an idea. So, first character gets the first name of Ken. Oh, wait. You know what? Because the fact that it's last name, first name, middle initial, let's just go with Kent. Dang it, dropped a boggle dice and picking it up wasn't pain. Okay, so we went with Kent for the first one. Mm, hmm. I got a bunch of letters that spell out Bith. So let's go with Tabitha. And I. Yeah, I have a leftover I. Okay, so employer. Well, I haven't decided what kind of character this is yet. Education, occupational history. Yeah, don't know. Yeah, that's an interesting thing with this one. It's like you kind of sort of need to like choose a profession. It's like the second part of it. This doesn't actually give the full like list of them here though, so I have to scroll down here to find the list. Oh, not exactly what I consider like a quick start guide. It's, yes, start a rule book, but it's not a particularly quick way of doing character creation. Okay, so we have 8 options here. I am going to just roll a d8. Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's my choice. It's not something I feel that I need to do. So it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah. She gets one anthropologist. Dookie. Profession anthropologist. I apparently spelled that wrong. Okay. Employer. What does it have in here as their explanation for what they personally consider to be a valid concept of employer? You work for someone. Yeah, okay. You know what? For this one, I'm just going to go with NSA. NSA sounds like a good employer. Nationality. Well, I went with NSA as the employer, so I'm going to go with US and female because I put in a female name. Age and date of birth. Hmm. Go with 34. And what would 34 years old be as of today? 17 January 2026. Hmm. Yeah, I guess that would be 82. No, 92. Okay. If it's January. Yeah, it's not good with January. Oh yeah, I can roll a D12. And let's see here. A D6 and a D10. Yeah, combining a D6 and a D10, it's actually a reasonably effective way of simulating rolling a D30. Hmm. Okay. So I got June. So for this one, it would need to be 91. And I got the 28th of June. Okay. Yeah, this methodology doesn't actually ever give you anyone with a birth date that begins or that's on the 31st of the month. But quite frankly, for this purpose, we don't actually care that much. So, an anthropologist is someone who would probably have a college degree. Um, and for someone working for the NSA, they're going to do field work quite a lot. So I put in that too. Now, this is someone I'm going to go with the middle range on because, not a super specialized one, but someone who has a certain amount of bias in that regard. Okay, so let's see here. There's the thing again. Numbers. Here we are. Numbers. So, group two. Um, I don't actually know what all of the stats are for. That's part of the thing. I'm not sure exactly what this one actually does with them. An anthropologist gets 4 bonds, which is useful. I'm just going to note that with a 4 here. Mm, strength. Okay, so for this particular character, because of the fact I'm doing the middle one, it's like the top stat is a 15, then it's a 14, a 12, a 10, an 11, and two tens. So I'm gonna put 10 on strength. I guess I'll make that the 11. Dex 10. Int. And make that 15. 14. Because I figured this would be someone who's very, good at talking to people. Power. Huh. I'll put that as 12 because I haven't assigned that one yet. I'm not really sure exactly what these are supposed to do. So yeah, 10, 10, 11, 12, 14, 15. Okay. Why does it say X5? Whatever. Oh, I think this is for the, like, percentile dice thing. When you're rolling percentile dice checking against your stat. Hmm. This is one of those things where I feel the n urge to point out that under certain circumstances, you might as well just roll a d20 because you're going in 5, increments anyways. Whatever. Actually, I'm gonna stretch this so I can see it a little better. There. Anyway, bonds. We know she's supposed to have 4 of them, but haven't figured out what those are yet. So, derived attributes. Hit points. The average of strength and con. Round up. Sanity points are power times 5. Willpower points is equal to power. Okay, so I guess this is not power times 5, so this would actually just be 11 then. Willpower points, let's see here. It said equal to power, which would be 12. Um Sanity, breaking point. Oh. Hmm. Equal to sanity minus power. Wouldn't that just be like power times 4 then? I don't get it. Yeah, I'm guessing that's supposed to be 48 for this character? I don't know. Hmm. This is interesting because it tracks different kinds of uh things that cause sanity loss, so you can remember how your character got traumatized. Why? Because there's specific kinds of mental disabilities that you get from being traumatized in this. Bonds, I haven't figured that part out yet. Oh, well, anyway, I'm going to save as for this one. D100. There. Now to fill in the incredibly long list of stuff. Yeah. Okay. So, because this is a anthropologist. Okay, here we are. Anthropologist or historian. Anthropology or archaeology. Well, we're an anthropologist, so we're not going to choose the archaeology one. Like, seriously, this is supposed to be a checkbox, but it's not letting me check it. Ah. Bureaucracy, 40. That tracks, honestly. Foreign language, just 2 foreign languages. Okay, so this is one of those things where it has a lot to do with the kind of anthropological work your character does. And for this particular one, I'm going to go with someone who mostly does anthropology in the frozen north. Studies the weird cultural quirks of people who really aren't studied all that heavily by most anthropologists. So we're going to have her learn the Inuit and Russian. Why? Because she doesn't stick to just like the frozen north in the US. She kind of sort of has, well, she also studies like the whole like thing of like the transfer across the Bering Strait and reading Russian documentation about the um, Russian equivalent of Inuit is something that she finds to be useful for her research. Now, if you're creating your character, yeah, whatever. That's your character. This one is just me. Anyway, so foreign language 50 and 30. I'm going to have her put the 50 on Inuit and the 30 on Russian. This is a work of fiction. I know why that's there. Well, check up. Oh, the checkbox isn't for when you do character creation. Oh, after the session, add 1d4 to each check skill so that you improve your skills by failing at them. Okay, but you only get one round of that per game session. Hmm. Anyways, back to what we're doing. History, occult, and persuade. History is 60. I do not know what it means having some of these with non-zero things. I'm guessing that's even that's the untrained one, but I was seriously considering doing all six characters, but this is already getting too long. So anthropology. I don't have I have anthropology as my primary, especially archaeology gets 40 then, because it just makes sense for this character to because I did mention the character does field work. Two humans. Ride, search, survival. I only get two of them. Um. Hmm. Hmm. I go with the human one. Yeah. Okay. So that's anthropologist or historian. I haven't figured out what I want the bonds to be yet, which, whatever. Define the motivations. Well, part of what caused her to be recruited to Delta Green is the fact that she is an anthropologist who thinks that human history isn't entirely shaped by humans. Armor, gear, weapons. We'll figure that out later. To be honest, the whole like idea that human history isn't solely shaped by humans is actually something that is kind of a legit thing in some circles already. So, and the scholars studying Native American history actually have come to these conclusions. Because, like, why is there a myth and legend about humans living in a cave underground? Why is that the creation myth for humans that they somehow came into existence in a cave underground? That doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Hmm. Yeah, physical description, that's just fluff, but whatever. That's like, it's just like, describe what your character looks like. Simple. Wounds, ailments, armor gear, weapons. Those are things that are probably going to come up during the game. And wait, why does it have that in this section? Yeah, whatever. Oh, wait. Okay, I misunderstood what the motivations thing was for. I thought that the motivations was like motivation for why she wants to be here. No. That's this one. Personal details. Okay, so her motivation for studying things in the first place. That's what I need to put in here. Is fascinated by the study of how the world came to be the way it is. Someone who studies history because history is not only important, but it's also something most people don't know. I don't have any craft points or computer science points. Realistically, a lot of people who do this kind of research work in the modern times would have at least a like 10% rating on computer science because they use computers to store information and um, collect information. Hmm. I'm actually kind of surprised that they have the baseline computer science thing as zero. Because yeah, it's like this is a modern setting. Like I don't know. I wouldn't put it past 10% as default, but you know. Now having something like archaeology or anthropology start at zero makes perfect sense. Okay, so what else we need to do? This is all of the stuff for. Oh wait, that's the computer science one. Okay, I did all of this stuff here. Choose any two of these and only two of these apparently. Why some of them have different numbers than the others, I'm not entirely sure. But anyways. Oh, that's another interesting. Oh, wait. Hold on a second. Anthropology and archaeology start at zero. Humant, navigate, ride, survival. These go up to 50 when you get this. Yeah, that's a 10%. Mm, ride, 10%. Survival, 10%. Okay. Search, 20%. That would be why search goes up to 60. Okay. That makes sense. So these are replacing the default values. Okay. Hmm. Alrighty then. Bond examples. I'll think about that later. Haven't figured because like having four of those is a lot more than just than I'm gonna throw out right now. Now this is an interesting because like federal agent has a lot of those things. Scientist, bureaucracy, computer science. and like three different science fields that are like highly specialized. That's an interesting thing with the federal agent one. It's like a lot of those really aren't particularly large numbers, but there's a lot of those. Special operator doesn't even have optional skills. Hmm. Physician. What kind of physician are you? Well. Anyway, I think I'm going to call it here because 40 minutes is good enough, I think. Yeah. Alrighty then. See you guys later.